What consulting practices help business analysis?
Stress or friction can come from various parts, right? One is
What opportunities business analysts have if they choose this BFSI sector?
you're taking time to keep yourself updated with both the technology as well as the regulation.
Learning and development path you have in Nagarro?
Every sector has its own timelines. They go up and then they go down. There are a lot of opportunities in banking and financial sector today because
What kind of advice you would like to give the professionals who are in this business analyst field?
today digital solutions or digital transformation works off of three major aspects. The world needs great business analysts no matter which vertical you're in.
Welcome to the BA station of IIBA Colombo chapter. So let's welcome Surya today for our discussion. Hello Surya.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
How's the Sri Lankan trip so
It's
far?
wonderful. It's
Okay.
always nice and beautiful to be here.
Okay.
Wonderful people, wonderful place.
And
Yeah.
did you enjoy the hospitality of us? people?
Always. Very, very much. Thank you.
Okay. So as a start, can you tell us about yourself, your background, and your career milestones, and
Yes,
your position in Nagarro?
Sure. My name is Surya Vedula. I'm responsible for banking, financial services, and insurance vertical at Nagarro. And in that capacity, I and my team deliver IT services projects and help design products for our customers globally.
Okay. So you're into consulting. So
We are into consulting, engineering, and subsequent management of the applications and solutions that we build for our customers.
Okay. So what consulting practices help business analysis in relevant to the
So when you say what consulting
Field.
practices, you're
Yeah.
talking about how you would approach a problem.
yeah.
Okay. So I think the very consulting process that's important is that you understand the objective, right? And have a framework and a structured way of looking at a problem, right? So frameworks give you strength and a way of looking at whatever else is the situation. Doesn't matter what the situation is. So again, so essentially you can start with the questions as what is being built, why is it being built, who is it being built for, what will you get from it, and what will the basic other customer segments and stakeholders, what is the value you expect somebody to derive from it. So a deeper understanding of these topics when you start will continue to help you build good products because you would know the purpose and the intent, and everybody in the team should know this, right? Once that is clear, would be a good beginning. So a good beginning makes for a great product.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have different roles in project management, like business analysts, product owners, consultants. They have different pivot roles when playing their roles. So I would like to know how those roles get overlap in a project and how it will help the success of the project, meeting the deadlines and meeting the customer satisfactions and all.
Okay. So you're talking about IT services projects,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
So you talked about a product owner,
Yeah.
right?
Business analyst
And a business analyst.
and a consultant.
Sure. Consulting by nature, everybody would have to be, right?
Yeah.
Now the job of let's start with the project manager, right? Okay. A project manager's job essentially is to make sure that all the stakeholders are aware of the status of the project, right? Now, when you say all the stakeholders, primarily you'd have to look at the people that are sponsoring the project, right? And the various people that are building this project, right? Or the application that's being built during the project time and schedule, and manage and maintain or mitigate the risks that happen, right? This would be the role of a project manager, making sure that everybody has the right communication at the right time, and he or she is actually doing everything that is to be done to make sure that the project gets delivered on time, in budget, on time, right?
Yes.
Now a product manager, product owner, right? So two again different, product owner and the product manager.
Yeah.
right, are also different roles,
Yes.
similar in some ways, and they would overlap. But a product manager's job is to make sure that you understand again the intent of why something is being built or why an enhancement is being done, right? And see that the solution that's being designed, right, will take you forward to the agenda that you have, right? Now, a product owner can represent an area of business, right, and play the role of the customer or and act as a proxy for eventually the user that's going to be using it and represent what they want. Whereas a product manager at all points in time is keeping two things in mind: the strategy, which is a much longer term view, right, and making sure that the features that are being built, now typically we're building in sprints using agile methodology nowadays, right, that these are progressing in the way you want them to progress,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, as you told, so all these roles will be helping the project to be successful, as well as it will help the team's efficiency, managing the team's efficiency, meeting the deadlines as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So let's move on to Nagarro.
Yeah.
I know it's into consulting. So I would like you to give a brief idea about Nagarro's approach, their consultancy, their projects, domains. It will help our audience to
So
get
tell
an
you a
idea.
little bit about Nagarro.
Yes.
Okay. So Nagarro is an IT services company, right? An IT services company with a product-centric mindset, right? Now, what we do is we help derive business value for our customers through IT-enabled software solutions, is what we do, right? Now, in this process, we obviously bring together, right, not just consulting, we bring engineering also, and we build and make sure the customer derives and gets that value from the solution that's being proposed, right? So we're a full-fledged IT services engineering shop, right? And we take projects for our customers, and we also build products for our customers, which then get implemented into other banks, manufacturing institutions, travel and aviation companies, automotive sector, right? And so we work with all the sectors that are available. We are organized into industry-focused verticals and technology-focused horizontals. And in order for you to build any one solution, you need all these, both the horizontal tech and the vertical domain knowledge, both of which come together to build an compelling IT services solution.
Okay, so as you told,
so it's not just consulting, right?
Yeah.
So it's not the consultants who come in, give you advice and design something, and then they go away, and then you would have to go to another person to execute, right? So we would be a full service, one-stop solution.
Okay. So do you have any techniques you're using to manage those both vertical and horizontal management, and also for the people in the teams?
So Nagarro's structure, like I said, is organized into industry-focused verticals, which are business units, right? And technology-focused horizontals, which are also business units, and each of them have people who are responsible for them. Like my team and I are responsible for banking, financial services, and insurance, right? Similarly, others are responsible for their various areas of expertise. So when we have a client that starts with us, they get onboarded into the vertical that they are operating in, right? For example, today we are sitting in a coffee shop, right? It's part of the hospitality sector. So if this coffee shop and the company that owns it were to become a customer of Nagarro, they would be in the travel, logistics, and hospitality segment, right? Because those colleagues there would have a bunch of business analysts who would understand the business associated with the hospitality industry, right? And then let's say we are building a e-commerce solution, a payment system, right? A non-currency paperless form of payments for this customer. Then we would bring in the required colleagues from an e-commerce horizontal, right? Or somebody from financial services. So we have a single delivery manager who would be responsible for this relationship, whose job it is to make sure that the right people from the company come together to deliver a positive outcome for the customer.
since you talked about the BFSI, can you give an overview on the demand business analysts have in this BFSI sector? Demand the business analysts have in this
Demand for that skill?
business analyst skill in this field you are telling, I mean the
So
insurance.
business analysts are a
Yeah.
very important part of any solution that's being built because they bring domain knowledge, right? And an understanding of the solution that's being built, right? Without which the technologist does not know what to deliver, right? And every industry has its own nuances, right? Which a business analyst is expected to understand, right? And argue for. Could be a smallest of features, but just saying I want a payments solution in one industry may be very different than what a payment solution can look like in another industry, right? And the business analyst has to bring in that perspective to the table.
Yeah, so if I ask the same question in a different way, like what opportunities business analysts have if they choose this BFSI sector?
Okay, so now you're thinking about it from the perspective of a career path for an individual.
Career path,
I think the world needs great business analysts no matter which vertical you're in, whether you're in banking, financial services, or any other industry. But financial services have always been essential to all societies over time, right? So it's definitely a great career, right, to be in. Assuming, of course, that you're taking time to keep yourself updated with both the technology as well as the regulation, right? The financial services industry is deeply regulated industry. So I don't think somebody should jump into any one industry, right? There are two parts to a skill set, right? A business analyst brings in a set of skills which are portable, right? Logic, decision making, understanding of interfaces, understanding of a customer experience, availability of data, how to use it, understanding of process mapping, right? And how a process mapping can be changed to bring in efficiencies, which could result in operational costs of the ownership of the process becoming lower, right? These are transportable skills.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with what domain or industry you're in, right? So as an analyst, this is what you bring, one part, right? Now, because you've been working in any one industry for a long period of time, you start to understand that industry better, whether it's in healthcare sector, whether it's a banking and financial services sector. So the career would depend on how the sector is doing, and every sector has its own timelines. They go up and then they go down. So as an analyst, if you are looking for a long career, right, you'd first have to make sure that you have these basic skill sets ready and they're good. You have general awareness of environment that you're operating in, right? And then the banking, financial services, insurance sector has always been good. Right? So I don't know if I answered your question or you want to define it further.
No, because I also see there are many opportunities for this banking and finance sector.
Correct.
So that's why I wanted
That
to...
is today. There are a lot of opportunities in banking and financial sector today because credit is being made available at scale to all kinds of sectors, individuals, retail sector, and the industry, right? And therefore you suddenly see a huge need for a lot of analysts in this space at this point in time. Now, how long will this remain true is, for us to wait and see. But the financial service sector is always relevant.
Yes. So as you told, there are many things BAs need to improve in their skill set. So I would like to know the approach Nagarro has for new joinees or the level 1, level 2 BAs to grow up in their career.
Yeah.
The workshops you are doing, that kind of the learning and development path you have in Nagarro.
So we spend a lot of time on training, learning and development, of course, right? Making sure that our consultants are spending time to make themselves aware, right, of the topics, right? So it starts with communication skills, clear logical skills. So taking a problem and using a framework to dissect the problem, right? So let's say somebody would like to build or make credit available to the lower, lesser, uh, poverty kind of situation, right? Or lower. Okay, let's say you want to make credit accessible to the illiterate, the common street vendor, right? This is the agenda of a financial institution, for whatever be the reason. Yeah, motivation could be social, motivation could be profit, right? If this is the situation and you as an analyst are asked to say what kind of solutions would we build or how would it be successful, right? It starts with a lot of research, right? And the only way to become a better researcher is to start researching various things, right? Now, you may have been coming from serving high value or H&I clients, right? And the next job is this. So you would have to start by saying, okay, what is the objective? Who is sponsoring it? Why are they sponsoring it? And what is the result, right? So what we do at Nagarro is build these structures and a series of questions which we can offer to our consultants in a library. Now, which part of this library does the consultant want to use and which part do they want to discard is a choice that the person would have to make based on the situation that they're in, right? Second is making sure that the consultants who we have, as they are younger and they're growing in their career, have the opportunity to shadow senior consultants, to watch, observe, and support, right? So we do a very good job of making sure that our consultants are getting the exposure that they need, right? And we do not have this institution of this is the front end and that's the back end and only one person talks to the customer. So we work off the philosophy that if you're a member of the team, then you must have full access if you're going to be a productive member of the team. So these aspects of how we work enable our consultants to learn, be unafraid to put their decisions and their recommendations, and post that we'll see they do well.
Okay, sounds good. So when doing a project when we have to meet the deadlines and all, these product owners, business analysts play a critical role, consultants do. So what kind of challenges do you highlight we face, and what are the approaches Nagarro has to overcome those challenges that Nagarro teams are taking at this moment?
So IT projects are stressful projects.
Yes.
By their very nature, they're very stressful projects, right? And stress or friction can come from various parts, right? One is, if you focus on the business analyst role, it comes from the solution that's being recommended is not what the customer wants. Or the solution that has been recommended and built is not going to deliver the result you want, right? So making sure that each time as you're iterating through, that you're actually following all the recommendations of the Scrum and doing real demos with the real people who are the actual stakeholders, right? So if you've ensured that and the Scrum Master has ensured that, then these stresses get eliminated, right? But if you do find yourself in such a situation, you'd have to sit down and understand, is the problem a technology-driven problem? Or is it a requirements-driven problem? Which part needs to change, right? A deeper analysis of that, as well as a business analyst having an understanding of technology and how it delivers value. The business analyst doesn't have to be a technologist, but cannot be unaware of technology, right? So it's only that eventually does help, right? And making sure that, again, when you are writing your test cases as an analyst, because that's one of the responsibilities that an analyst has, that there is sufficient coverage of the various situations and use cases that can happen, right? So escalations happen or deadlines are not met when some of these basic principles get violated, or your scope, time, and cost triangle is somehow compromised because somebody has an unfair expectation of what is going to happen. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's also one critical part BS are facing. So yeah. Then I would like to know, before we wrap up, what kind of advice you would like to give the professionals who are in this business analyst field, who would like to go as consultants to in this career? What kind of advice you will give with them?
I would say stay updated in terms of the environment that you're in, right? So read related and unrelated literature, right? That's one. The second would be read about the technology, right, that is happening around you. Today, digital solutions or digital transformation works off of three major aspects. One is the need for improved customer experience. Customers in this case can be internal, external, or otherwise, right? Second is the availability of data, internal data, external data, and all these things lead to better decisions that you can make, and understanding the process, harmonizing the process, right, and changing that to overall, over a period of time, lower the total cost of ownership of a solution, right? So in order for you to be able to do that, you would need to understand and be well informed and be unafraid to make a decision. Is pretty much, I think, what I would like young BAs to know.
Okay. Yeah. So we have to develop both the technical skills as well as the soft
You don't have to develop all the technical skills. You have to
technical
develop an awareness of
Yeah.
the capabilities of what
Yeah.
a technology can do.
Okay. Yeah. So that's a wrap of this BA Station discussion with Surya today.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for accepting our invitation to join us.
Thank you so much.
And
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thank you. So hope you had a nice journey here, and thank you.